YouTube! So the other day I saw that Kate over at Girl Reading had created her own tag, and it's the rapid fire book tag, and I thought that it looked like a lot of fun, so I'm gonna give it a go. So basically how this works is there's gonna be like a whole ton of questions, and I'm just gonna say the first thing that comes into my head, my first answer. I have watched the video, but I've forgotten like 90% of the questions, so I haven't pre-prepared anything. Ebook or physical book? Definitely physical book. I would pick physical books over ebooks every time because I just love the ability to take it with you wherever you go. Doesn't matter about battery, about how bright it is, like you can just read that book, it's in your hand, plus you get the really beautiful covers because I do have a Kindle, but all the covers are in black and white, and that's really disappointing because books have such beautiful covers, so they should be displayed in all their colourful glory. Paperback or hardback? I do prefer reading paperbacks, but I like the look of hardbacks because hardbacks usually have like the really fancy covers, and I love like seeing under the dust jackets, but when it comes to taking a book out and about or just like the ease of reading, I feel like paperbacks are just easier to read. I think paperbacks. I think I'm gonna go with paperbacks. Maybe? Yeah. No, I don't know. I can't choose. I give up. Online or in-store book shopping? Okay, now I prefer in-store book shopping. However, because they are so expensive at stuff like Waterstones and WH Smith's and all that jazz, I like to go to charity shops, as you've probably heard me say a billion times over, so I still count that as in-store book shopping, and they're super cheap, and I get to like pick them up and actually look at them, and you get to stumble across books that you probably never would have seen or picked up or like heard of had it not been for walking into a shop. The same goes for bookshops, but charity shops especially, because it's not even like there's sort of a designated section that you walk to for YA if you read YA. There's just a big amalgamation of everything, so you never know what you're gonna find. Trilogies or series? Okay, I think that I'm gonna have to go with trilogies for this one, purely because I love reading more than the single book. If it's a world that I'm really drawn into, characters I really love, I want to read more about them. But sometimes I find when it gets turned into a series and it's dragged out for like 7, 8, 9, 10 books that I lose interest. The story just seems to like lose its spark, and then I just end up not really wanting to read it. So yeah, like trilogies are kind of the perfect amount of book for me. Heroes or villains? I'm gonna be probably quite typical and say heroes, but the thing is, you get so many heroes with so many problems and so many like troubled pasts and stuff like that, that it's debatable if a hero is completely innocent in it all sometimes, so I like that. Heroes, I guess. Although, unless it's in like a DC villains are pretty damn awesome. A book that you want everyone to read. I'm gonna say Lauren Kate's Fallen and Taran Matharu's The Novice. These two beautiful books, I think they're like my favourite books ever, pretty much. So you should all look at them. Yes, read all the books. But yes, these two. And I talk about them enough on my channel that I feel like everybody knows that these are kind of my favourite books at this point. So sorry if I'm kind of talking your ear off about these ones, but you know, it just means you should read them. Recommend an underrated book. Book 1 in the Queen of the Dead series, Silence by Michelle Sagara. Now, I completely and utterly love this book. I just sort of saw it in Forbidden Planet like a year ago, I think, and I just thought it was like an adorable book, and I really loved the cover, so I picked it up, and it is the tiniest book I own at all, and I've got the second book that I still need to read, and then there's a third book coming out, but this is really, really good. It's basically kind of like if you ever watched Ghost Whisperer, the TV show. It's kind of like that in that you've got this girl who can talk to the dead, and her boyfriend dies, and then she spends all her time at this graveyard waiting to sort of see if maybe he'll pop up, but he doesn't, because apparently graveyards are like the most empty places because ghosts haunt all the people and the places that they died and stuff, so they're not really at graveyards. But yes, so she has to kind of rescue ghosts from being collected and like taken, and it's just a really fun and easy read. So yes, Silence by Michelle Sagara. The last book you finished. What was the last book that I finished? I think it was New World Ashes by Jennifer Wilson. I read the second book in the New World Rising series, and it was so good. So good. It picks right off up after book 1, which you should totally go check out because it's awesome and dystopian, and if you like stuff like, I don't know, Hunger Games or The 100, if you liked The 100 TV show, you'd totally like this. So yes. The last book you bought. I haven't bought a book in a little while actually. I think it was Passenger. Basically just everything in my recent book haul. So yes, I'm gonna say Passenger by Alexander Bracken because I can't remember if this was the very last book that I bought. It was one of the ones from the book haul. one of them, all the same. The weirdest thing you've used is a bookmark. I think I used like a candy wrapper one time because I had nothing on me and I'd finished my candy bar, so the candy went in the book. Don't worry though, it didn't make it dirty. It wasn't like a dirty wrapper, but yeah. Candy wrapper. Used books, yes or no? Completely yes. As I said, I buy 90% of my books from charity shops, so of course I'm going yes for used books. There is nothing wrong with them. Okay, sometimes you might find one that's like completely mashed up, but then you just buy a different one, it's fine. Top 3 favourite genres. Fantasy / high fantasy, supernatural stuff, and dystopian, I guess? Are they genres? I don't know what's like, there are so many like subgenres within genres and genre mad, I don't know. I like anything that's fantastical and fantasy. Although I do kind of like contemporary, I just don't read it that often. But yeah, anything that's not real, basically. Anything like that. But yeah, I think fantasy is definitely like my all-time favourite. Definitely. Borrow or buy? Buy, just because I love having my books on my shelves and I want all the copies of everything. There's nothing against borrowing books, but to be honest, I don't really have many friends that are like local or anything like that that are really into books, so I don't have anyone to borrow them from. I mean, I used to borrow them from the library as a kid, but then I wanted to reread them and it was such a mish going to the library every week, so charity shops, 50p for a book from a charity shop. You know, it's worth it. It's completely worth it. I think I talk about charity shops too much as well. Characters or plot? I'm going to say characters. Characters. Because if you've got a good plot but really rubbish, boring characters that you don't care about, then the plot doesn't really matter because you're not going to want to read about some people you just really dislike. So yes, definitely characters. Plus, I just love character-driven books. So yes, characters. All the characters. Long or short books? I'm definitely gonna have to go with long because if I really enjoy a book, like I said, I don't want it to end, so I want more book in my book. So long books. Long or short chapters? I don't actually care in terms of that. I mean, I read Geek Girl recently and that has really short chapters and I felt like that just makes you breeze through a book so much faster. So much faster? Wow, my words. So much faster. I feel like short chapters make you get through a book quicker because you just think, oh, just one more chapter, whereas a longer chapter, you kind of sort of don't do that. I don't know. I don't have a preference. I don't mind. Just a book with words. As long as it has words, it's fine. Name the first 3 books you think of. Inherited by Freedom Matthews and July! Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick and Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater because I'm really excited to meet Maggie Stiefvater next month. I don't do well under pressure. Oh my word, that was like the most exhilarating, terrifying, adrenaline-filled 5 seconds. I don't do well under pressure. Books that make you laugh or books that make you cry? I definitely choose laugh because I love to laugh at things, and funny books or characters that have funny quirks to them and just make that sort of extra level of awesomeness to a book. Our world or the fictional worlds? Our world, because if you lived in a fictional world, where would all of these books be? Back in the real world. So yes, I think that's like the most meta kind of answer. The our worlds, definitely, because then I can go into all of these worlds, whereas if you were in one of these worlds, we wouldn't exist, these books wouldn't exist, and you just wouldn't have these awesome things to read. Audiobooks, yes or no? I haven't actually listened to an audiobook before, but I'm gonna say no, at least for the time being, because I think that I would just get really easily distracted. So yes, I think I would zone out and I would just miss like really important parts. I need to read it to get it into my head. Do you ever judge a book by a cover? Yes, of course, who doesn't? If you say that you don't judge a book by its cover, you're lying, because you walk into a bookshop, you're gonna be drawn to pretty covers. Book to movie or book to TV adaptations? I'm gonna have to say movies, just because I feel like even though TV shows have more time so they can go into the things that are often cut out of movies, they sometimes fall a bit flat with me, and I just don't need another TV show taking over my life, okay? I don't need another one. If it's a movie, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then it's done. It's done. Even if there's a sequel, I can just like, I can deal with that in a year. But a TV show, like right now, I am so addicted to Outlander you would not believe. So yes, movies. A movie or TV show you preferred to the book? I'm gonna say The Host by Stephenie Meyer, because I really wasn't a huge fan of the book. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of the movie, but I think I definitely preferred it to the book. Series or standalones? Definitely series, just because I love getting immersed in worlds, and if it's a standalone and I really love the characters and the book and then I find out that there isn't another one, it's just so disappointing because I want to go back into the world, which I've kind of said. I think I've said the same thing for like 3 answers in this question video thingy, but yeah. Series for sure. Okay guys, that is all the questions that I have. I will put all the questions in the description in case any of you want to do this video or answer in the comments. I'd love to hear your answers. I will also put Kate's video in the description so you can check out hers. And yeah, I'm really bad at answering quick-fire questions. I think that's what I've established from today, because I either ramble or I just panic because on the spotness, just no. So yeah, do answer some of these questions in the comments. I'd love to hear. Maybe we have similar ideas on things, but yes. So I will see you soon, and I hope you are having a wonderful summer. I know that I am. It's so warm and hot outside, and that never happens in England, so I am totally making the most of it. So I make new videos several times a week, so subscribe if you want to find out when I post a new one, and I will see you next time.